Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. In this video, we are from IC2103P from group 3. We'll be present about opportunity of e-business platform for subject course ISC500 Islamic Entrepreneurship. So this is our group members. Next, this is our table of contents for this topic.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. So we're going to be through to the 1.0 introduction. Before I begin my presentation, I want to introduce myself first. My name is Amir Huzai Izdlan bin Hasmadi from IC2103P. My student ID is 2021126233. E-business is critical to the country's economic growth and development. Planning, regulating, promoting, and distributing diverse commodities and services are all part of this purposeful activity. Because of its straightforward applications, e-business has a good possibility of becoming broadly adopted. As a result, it has a significant impact to the economy. Nowadays, we can see that technology become more advanced and being updated time to time. So, just before, we buying goods or services by going to the physical store or going to the supermarket. But now, we can buy or purchase goods or services through the online transaction or through the online services like buying goods or products through the applications such as Shopee and Lazada. From this study, we're going to explain about what is the definition of e-business and e-commerce, the definition of the Islamic e-business, evidence, types of e-commerce, the challenges of the Islamic e-business, the roles of organizations towards the Islamic e-business, and last but not least, the impacts of the e-business in Islam.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Haziqaiman. So now we look at 2.1, which is the definition of e-business and e-commerce. So what do e-business and e-commerce mean? As you can see on the slide, e-business is short for electronic business. As an overarching term, it refers to any method of utilizing digital information and communication technologies to support or streamline business process from preparation to implementation. However, it can also refer more specifically to the business process of online store or other internet-based companies. Meanwhile, e-commerce is defined as transaction conducted via the internet. Every time individual and companies are buying or selling product and service online, they are engaging in e-commerce. The term e-commerce also includes other activities including online auction, internet banking, payment gateway, and online ticketing. So it can be concluded that e-business covers all business activities involving IT, while e-commerce is one of the activities in e-business, which is selling and buying via the internet. So I came up with a short video about e-business and e-commerce. So let's take a look at the video.
Hi, my name is Dr. Stella Tomasi, and I teach an e-business course in the e-business and technology management department within the College of Business and Economics. So you're probably wondering what e-business is all about. A lot of people use the terms e-commerce and e-business to mean the same thing. However, there are differences between the two terms. E-commerce deals with business transactions that are involved in the buying and selling of products and services online. E-business not only deals with e-commerce, but it also deals with being able to conduct business processes in your value chain over some type of network, whether it be internal or external networks. Internal networks is what organizations like to use because it's more secure. The internet is an external network which is very public and can be used when you're working with partners and suppliers. So you're wondering, what kind of business processes in a value chain can I use? Processes such as inbound logistics, outbound logistics, manufacturing and operations, marketing and sales, and customer service. These are just primary activities that you would conduct over some type of network using technology to work with your various partners, suppliers, and customers. So now that you know the difference between e-business and e-commerce, stop by the EBTM department so you can learn more about e-business.
Next, we look at 2.2, which is Islamic e-business. So what does Islamic e-business mean? Islamic e-business is the practice of performing and coordinating critical business process through the use of computer and other technologies that to the better reflect the Islamic point of view. Besides, Islamic e-business can also be defined as selling products or rendering service that are halal through electronic means such as the internet. In conclusion, e-business and Islamic e-business are the same, but there is a slight difference that Islamic e-business must be Sharia compliant. The important condition to ensure that e-business to be called as Islamic e-business is that any e-business transaction should be implemented and handling carefully consistent with the Islamic teaching, and the things that should be avoided in Islamic e-business are deceit, fraud, non-delivery of service, and interest taking, because all of this is prohibited by Islam. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ihsan bin Muhammad Fauzi. I will talk about evidence related to e-commerce and roles toward Islamic e-commerce. When it comes to the well-being of Muslims, Islam recognizes the trading sector as a major source of wealth and the economy's driving force. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala said, A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim, Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu la ta'kulu amwalakum bainakum bil batil illa an takuna tijaratan an taradin minkum wa la taqtulu anfusakum innallaha kana bikum rahima. O you who have believed, do not consume one another's wealth unjustly, but only in lawful business by mutual consent, and do not kill yourself or one another. Indeed, Allah is to you ever merciful. Surah An-Nisa verse 29. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, Rahimallahu rajulan samhan idha ba' wa idha ishtara wa idha qatada. May Allah mercy be on him who is lenient in his buying, selling, and in demanding back his money. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in some aspect preach for the same quality values offered by e-commerce, particularly accuracy and veracity, flexibility, convenience, contract standardization, speed, cost effectiveness, and others. It is clear that Quran not only permitted but also encouraged the Muslim to engage in an honest and mutually beneficial trade. Related to commerce, Quran revealed two prerequisites for the validity of any given transaction, namely permissibility and harmlessness. Permissibility means that the commodity and service in question must be permissible by the Sharia, while harmless means that the commodity of the service must not be harmful for the contracting parties or the general public. Hence, regardless of whether the transaction is conducted in traditional commerce or electronically, these two prerequisites must be fulfilled by all Muslim businessmen. As e-commerce involves trading and between buyers and sellers, it needs to fulfill essential requirement and condition of Islamic law of contract, namely offer and acceptance. According to Sharia, all contracting parties, whether in traditional trading or in e-commerce, must mutually consent to the contract. Secondly, buyer and sellers contracting parties. To form a valid contract of sale and purchase, there must exist an offer and acceptance. in which one party make an offer and the other party will accept it. And lastly, object and price, which is subject matter. The subject matter must exist, lawful, must be delivered, hence deemed valid.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azri bin Hazni. My matric number is 2021102705. I am from class IC2103P. Now, let's go to my part, which is 3.0, types of e-commerce. Actually, I divide the type of e-commerce into 4 parts. For the first part is B2B, which means business to business. Business to business e-commerce is simply defined as e-commerce between companies, which means companies to companies. This is the type of e-commerce that deals with relationship between and among businesses. It usually involves the sale of raw material. For example, like a car company such as Honda. Honda need the services provided from the car seat company in providing car orders by their customer, because Honda only make vehicle engines and body kit. For the car seat, they need to buy from the another companies. The another example is such as car spare part, spices, and more. For the second part, B2C, which means business to consumer. Business to consumer is the most common type of e-commerce business known and implemented by the public. This business is easy to do because it only uses e-commerce platform for users to get the goods they need. For example, the e-commerce platform are Shopee, Lazada, and Carousel. Nowadays, we are common with this platform because our priority is to buy online. The third part is C2C, which means consumer to consumer. Consumer to consumer is all transactions made by users with users, consumers with consumers. This type is very popularly done by the community. Usually, e-commerce involve the type of used goods or the sale of personal items. Among the well-known platforms of this type are Carousel, Mudah.my, and Facebook. These platforms provide features for consumers to sell their used item by marketing those items using this platform. The last part is C2B, which means consumer to business. Consumer to business is a transaction of buying and selling products or services made from consumers to companies. In this type, the individual offers a product or services to a company that needs it and is ready to buy it. For example, influencers who offer services promote product, and influencers who offer services for promote the company product. And another example is such as photographers who sell their photo to another company. That's all. Thank you. Okay, next we're going to 4.0, the challenges of Islamic e-commerce or e-business. For the first challenges is avoiding riba. Okay, the definition of riba according to the language is increasing. In terms of terminology, it is the addition of value on a loan that is required by the borrower or promised by the debtor. The law of riba or the hukum of riba is haram, totally haram, as has been shown in the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 275. Auzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Wa ahallallahu al-bai'a wa harrama riba. Allah has permitted trading and forbidden riba. So, as Muslim entrepreneurs, we must avoid riba by looking for various alternatives, such as using Islamic banks as the main bank to do a transaction. For example, Adam has an online business and he only uses Islamic banks as transaction. For customers who want to buy Adam products, they need to transfer their money into the Bank Muamalat Malaysia account owned by Adam's company. The second part is avoiding gharar. The meaning of gharar from Dr. Yusuf Al-Qaradawi has defined gharar as the sale and purchase of goods that are unknown and not clearly defined as a commodity. The hukum of gharar is totally haram because it is guided by the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam prohibited pebble sale and gharar sale. So, as a Muslim entrepreneurs, all element of gharar must be avoided by Muslim entrepreneur, because the element of gharar can occur in online buying and selling, such as selling goods that cannot be delivered, selling goods without knowing the price, selling goods without providing complete information, and others. That's why Muslim entrepreneur must sell item that already exist. For the third challenges is consumer trust. In this era of technology, it is evident that some users are still not yet skilled in doing transaction online due to the factor of their age. Some users are nervous or afraid to try doing online buying and selling transaction because they may have had the experience of being cheated. Therefore, as a Muslim entrepreneurs, they must be honest in every one of their online businesses, because in this way, consumers' trust will continue to increase as they believe in honesty earned by Muslim merchants. All detailed information about product must be explained by seller in advance to the buyer to avoid misunderstandings between buyers and sellers. For the last challenges is the cybercrime issues. Selling one carries the risk of selling online carries the risk of cybercrime, such as being hacked and cheated. The risk of being hacked is extremely high, as they can hack seller and buyer data. Therefore, the seller must have skills in operating a software and system in order to detect hacking activities that occur against it. The risk of fraud is also very high, not only the buyer is deceived, but also the seller is deceived by the way the buyer states that he bought the goods using foreign money and asks the seller to send the goods abroad. To overcome this problem, the seller must always be vigilant, and if there are suspicious buyers, the seller must report this matter to the authorities such as PDRM. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, roles toward Islamic e-commerce. The first refer to Homo Islamicius, Islamic man, as opposed to Homo economicus, economy man, in expanding Islamic e-business, indicating that being a morally motivated individual is the essence of Islamic business. The second concern the way in which the business environment can affect Islamic e-business, referring to the importance of large stakeholders in the society. The third relates to the application of rules and regulation, as Islamic e-business must be practiced strictly to ensure successful, but most importantly, Sharia compliant transactions. The last one related to the role of government, in that opportunities, government should encourage the people to use e-business opportunities due to its safety and above all because it is without any wrongdoing according to Islam. The Malaysian government is a friendly government to societies, business and to foreigners too. In fact, this openness is also shown in the context of businesses, including for a company running a business both physically and electronically. The government support can be depicted as follows. The government can also support e-commerce through regulations. The government ensure the business is fairly conducted among those Muslim and non-Muslim business people. Secondly, loan or financing. The government provide financial assistance to Muslim in order to run a business. Thirdly, advisory service. The government provide free of charge advice regarding business, ranging on how to run a business, on how to finance it, and on how to generate profits. And lastly, tax exemption. The government reduced tax for business. Among the efforts that the government has implemented are: firstly, promote and market e-commerce to small medium enterprise (SMEs) to ensure that business are aware of the benefit of e-commerce. Secondly, improve SMEs e-commerce training and talent development by establishing multi-platform, multi-tool training opportunities to cover the life cycle of SME from entry to maturity. And lastly, create a one-stop business portal for SMEs to obtain information about e-commerce, such as e-commerce readiness survey, e-commerce e-business apps, training opportunities, community FAQs, and financial incentive, among others. That's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Now we will proceed to the 6.0, the impacts of e-business in Islam. There are many implications or effects that could bring benefits to the e-business sector in Islam. So firstly is the products and services. By doing an e-business, we can produce or selling more goods and services that is halal and permissible to the Muslim consumers. By doing it, we can ensure that the products or services that halal is available and enough for the consumers, especially to the Muslims. And also the introduction of the halal hub to the public. So halal hub, it can be defined as a concerted effort among the Islamic organizations or bodies such as halal manufacturers, halal traders, buyers and consumers from all over the world. The second one is marketing. By doing the Islamic e-business, we can introduce or create a new methods of marketing within the Sharia needs. We also can promote halal products and services to the global market, which means that not only the Muslim consumers or users can get benefits from it, the non-Muslims also can buy or purchase those halal products and services for their daily consumption. The next impact is in the economic sector. By normalize or create Islamic e-business, there are many benefits that we can get from it, like provide job opportunities for the public, stabilize the economic and finance, and also create a new business or industrial sector. Last but not least, the impacts in the technology. By the technology, we can able to create sophisticated products or items like build an electric car, software systems, medical, and many more. And also, we can invent more new and fresh products and services that can bring benefits to the consumers, especially to the Muslims. So that's all the impacts of e-business in Islam. Right now, we are going through to the end of the chapter, which is 7.0 conclusion. In a nutshell, e-commerce and e-business are both important things, as it can make economic become growth and brings benefits not only to the individuals but also to the community and to the country as well. Other than that, e-business has influenced many kinds of aspects, either from the transportation to the consumer behavior, altering business to business and business to consumers, marketers' practices, timing and technology. Islam allows us to make or run a business as long as it doesn't contract within the Sharia rules or needs and not give harms and danger to ourselves. So that's all from our team. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.